Welcome to Soul One After Dark. I'm your host, Greg Hill. And this brother on the other side of this camera, I don't really get out much and I don't get to see too many comedy shows. And I just happened to go on and I got some of the video and everything, and I checked it out. I was rolling. Just this morning, early in the morning, I put all my footage together in the morning. And I didn't realize. I always heard his name, Talent. Who the hell is Talent?
My son had a nervous breakdown. I need a laptop. I said, get your ass. I need a laptop, Dad. I got assignments. I'm like, who's teaching this dude this? His mother's like, the school you sent him to. Laptop. He's stressing too. A laptop. Come on, old school people. Laptop. We ain't had nothing. The last thing you had as a kid growing up that looked like a laptop was an Etch-a-Sketch. Remember the Etch-a-Sketch? Remember the square with the two knobs? I'm gonna draw you something. Don't move. I'm gonna draw you something. Ah, you move. I gotta shake it. I'm gonna draw you something. Don't move. Everybody ain't laugh at that joke because some of y'all couldn't afford the Etch-a-Sketch. Some of y'all had the bootleg version. Remember the clipboard with the plastic sheet? With the pen and the string, you gotta press hard, and when you mess up, start over. Everybody ain't laughing at that. What's the Etch-a-Sketch?
I realize who Talent is now. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Talent on Soul One After Dark. What's up, man?
What's up, G?
Oh, man.
How are you, man? You know what's a good thing, man, in this business that we're in? And you said something that was very important. I never get tired of hearing that somebody heard something. Like, that never gets old, man. When people go, yo, man, somebody said this, that, people say, da. When your name or what you do is generated through the word of mouth, that never gets old, man. They done came up with a million ways to promote and market, and somehow that's still the best.
That's right. That's right. So you out there in you told me Florida?
Yeah, I'm in Tampa right now, bro. You know, Super Bowl week. So
yeah,
I'm out here. I've been blessed to, again, word of mouth and have somebody talk it up to the point where they felt like, we needed talent on our comedy show. So I'm out here in Tampa working with the NFL, the Players Union, guys who work with the Player Association, who now work with the retired players or whatever. Because, let's face it, in sports, when they retire, it's not like the real world. They retire, they be like 30-something years old. So when you talk about like the Player Association, the cats that work with the retired players and any other thing, that means you working with AARP. You know what I mean? But only in sports, the motherfucker say, yo, yeah, you're working with the retired players.
Yeah.
They're 37 years old.
Mm-hmm. I got you. Where did you grow up? In New York, where?
I'm born and raised in Money Earning Mount Vernon. For the people who don't know, Money Earning Mount Vernon, New York is right on the border of the Bronx. So we are technically Westchester County, because as soon as you come out of the Bronx, all the way, to the north end of the Bronx, that's the end of the city limits. I don't care if you're on the 5 train or the 2 train, you in Mount Vernon.
When I come off of the Hutch and I ride along there and see all them athletes, they should have your picture up there too.
It's funny you say that. That's a long running conversation. But me and the city, it's a weird love-hate relationship. And not the people. Obviously, the people, I love them and they love me, show nothing but love. But when you get to the technicalities of the powers that be and the infrastructure of government and local government, stuff like that, then you start to deal with what we call the politics. I'm a guy that I don't play well with politicians. And not that I have beef. I just don't really, everything I do, I try to stay out of politics because, I'm all about bringing people together. And sometimes politics can be a contradiction of what I stand for. Politics are about dividing. You see, right? You see the climate of the country right now. You got this side. What side you on? I don't believe in size. I
Exactly.
believe in us as human beings getting together. I peddle laughter and humor and feel good products that is therapeutic to everybody. My jokes don't matter if you're Republican or Democrat.
That's right. Equal opportunity.
So yeah, so I guess I didn't play fair with the politicians that put that mural up.
Yeah, yeah. So, how long have you been doing stand up?
It's funny you say. This year, July will make my 30th anniversary.
30?
30 years, July. Man. Shout out to
Okay.
JB Small. Every time I think about it, I got to shout out to my comrade.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
My
that's
mentor,
right.
JB Small, because he's the one that first put me on stage my very first time.
So basically, he's the one that kind of inspired you to do what you do.
That's my guy. Okay. That's my mentor. That's my one of my best friends. I mean, I could call JB right now with a problem, he'd be there. He could call me right now with a problem, I'd be there. Yeah. So the connection is real. I love that brother to the end.
Do you remember the first club you worked?
Yeah, that was the first time hitting the stage. Was his spot. It no longer exists. It burned down over the years. Right? It's funny because I go back to what I just said about the train, right? If you get off at the last stop of the 2 train, which is 241st Street, White Plains Road, right on that corner, across from Wakefield Taxi, is a McDonald's there, but right in that corner sat a bar called the Lady Eye. And it was, they had a back room. It was a bar, but when you went past the front bar part, they had a back room that was actually built like a comedy club.
It was a little small place. I remember under the 2 train you're talking about.
Yep, the 2 train, the very last stop.
Yeah.
You got 4 corners, right? When you come down the 2 train on 241st White Plains Road, you got the pizzeria, which is the best pizza in the world. You got the corner store, the Wakefield's kind of catty corner off that. They built a McDonald's on the other corner, and there was a nightclub directly across from where the Lady Eye sat called the Galaxy back in the day. But the Lady Eye was a very popular bar that all the locals went to. JB got the back room on Sunday nights. We did a 7:30 show, and they had a front part where they allowed 2 comics to go up. They called them New Jacks, people that wanted to try it. Yeah. And, JB, growing up in the projects, the same project, JB knew I was a clown. Me and my crew crack jokes all the time, but he was a professional comedian. And he kept telling me, T, you should try it. And I'm like, nah. So I let my boy try it, comedy that is, first. And he didn't do good. And when he got Lady Eye, I said, we went to a show, we watched 2 shows, and I said, dude, I'm gonna try it. So put me down for next week. And all you had to have was 3 minutes. I got my worst. I say my worst because it was my best back then, but my worst 3 minutes together. And I did very well. And they let me come back a second week in a row, and I did even better. And then I took it upon myself to go back a 3rd week in a row, and they wouldn't let me on stage.
Wow.
So that made me, but that was a great thing because that made me sort out the other comedy spots.
We're going to take a little break. And when we come back, I got another couple of questions for you. I'm watching Soul One After Dark with my man Talent.
You want to make love to an older woman. Why? Because they care about you, big dog. They don't just make love to you. Older women care about you. They got a whole system played out. Cook you a full meal. Cook you a full meal, right? Make love to you, knock you out. Oh, they'll fuck you to sleep. And they stare at you while you sleep. You ever wake up to you sleep? That old lady been there 2 hours like that. Scared the hell out of you. Ah! What the hell? You scared, but when you wake up, she got medical information. You're like, ah, what the hell? She's like, I think you got sleep apnea. You died twice last night. I brought you back to life myself. You died at 1:47 and 2:16. I don't know what's wrong with you. So I made a doctor's appointment for you Tuesday.
This is Reagan Whiteside, and you're watching Soul One TV.
Let me ask you a question. If you wasn't doing comedy or the radio thing, what would you be doing?
If I wasn't doing comedy or the radio thing, I'd probably be full-time breeding my dogs.
Breeding your dogs?
Yeah, okay. I love dogs. I'm a dog guy. I recently radio. I love radio because radio allowed me to make a living and kind of get a grasp on my schedule because the comedy schedule would be all over the place. So radio kind of pulled me in at home, gave me a blueprint of a time zone, something sort of normal and structured where I could get back into my dogs. This was about going on 14, 15 years ago. And I got back into my dogs because as a kid, I loved dogs. So I'd probably be a breeder or a veterinarian or something like that.
Do you still have dogs?
Oh, yeah. I got 5 dogs, man. I got 4 boys and a girl.
Okay, you got 5 dogs. I got 5 kids, but you know, it's not the same. Not the same thing. But you listen, don't get me started, man. Don't get me started. But listen, let me ask you a question. I'm gonna have to cut that out. I don't know. I'm not sure.
No, don't do it.
That ain't come out right. That ain't come out right. See, you trying to get me in trouble, man. Listen.
Think about it. Movies? Oh, you know who the best dude is? The preview dude. He make you go see a movie. You don't even know if you want to see it yet, but he got that voice. You know what I'm talking about? This summer. That guy. That dude is crazy, right? You know how it is. You get in there early, you know. You're on time. You can see your previews. Got your little popcorn. You know, black people got to have skills at whatever they do. Lights go down. Then they got that surround sound. It'll scare you sometime. It catch you up. You hear that surround sound? Making that guy's voice. They thought he was dead. He was not dead. From the people who bought you Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, and Halloween comes a brand new horror. Jason Voorhees, Mike Myers, Freddy Krueger. Nightmare on Halloween Street. We be like this, I'm gonna see that.
What's up, everybody? This is your boy, Funny Man, New York King of Comedy, your boy Talent. That's right. And you're watching Soul One TV.
What keeps you motivated doing what you do besides the money?
Well, you know, the money, you know what's funny? The motivation for money is not my own. I don't have a motivation for money like that. Other than paying bills and the kid, like I said, we got kids. So kids going to school and kids getting what they need and paying the bills and sustaining. Other than that, money, I'm not one of those guys that just chase money to have it. My motivation is always been with comedy to be the funniest guy. You know, that when people look at comedy and they look at all their choices and all the different humors and stuff like that, I've always been motivated to be the funniest guy and at the same time make sense of things, you know, because we can laugh at all sorts of things. We can laugh at goofy stuff, slapstick stuff, guys putting on dresses, and there's so many type of things that people consider funny and humor. I just want to be straight up and down and stand-up comedy, that funniest guy. So I've always been motivated for that, you know, to be the king of this. That's why when the people kind of lifted me up and appointed me New York King of Comedy, like, you know, that holds a lot of weight with me. You know, I don't carry that lightly. When I go city to city, state to state, you know, I carry that on my shoulders. Like, yeah, I'm you know, they call me the New York King. I'm the king of New York. So, you know, if you can't be funny on my level, then don't go to New York because it's a tough place to try to make it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. And now on that note, how competitive is it in that comedy game? How competitive? I know it is. I just want to hear it from you.
Yeah, extremely. I always say like this: comedy through the '90s have catapulted itself into being the new rap. Meaning, like, you know, back in the day, you know, going up in the 80s and 90s, early 90s, everybody had a demo. Everybody wanted to be a rapper. By the end of the 90s, that was comedy. You know, everybody wanted to get on stage. Everybody wanted to be a comic. Some of them for the wrong reasons, but still in all, everybody wanted to do it. So it became oversaturated. It became like this thing that if you didn't already have some TV credits and people know who you were, you fell into this pot, this melting pot of a bunch of different ideas and voices and stuff like that. So it's very competitive, man. And especially, it's already competitive no matter where you pick it up at. But when you start to branch out and your name starts to become known in Chicago, LA, Wisconsin, Atlanta, Florida, you know, and all these places that you have to now travel to and go to, now you're looking at another level of competitiveness. Like I always joke and let people know that when you become an OG, you know, a veteran of this, your name starts to supersede you, meaning my name is bigger than me all day, every day. So when I go to a city to do a show, the club manager or the promoter or the host or whatever, they're going to throw the kitchen sink in front of me and see if I'm still going to be funny. We heard you so funny. You the king of New York. Okay, we'll see. Hold on one second. I got my man going to go up. Next thing you know, 7, 8 people went up. There's supposed to be 2 people in front of you in a traditional comedy show, but it's 7 or 8 in front of you. Now they throw you up. And it's almost like without saying it, they're saying, now be funny, Negro.
You just described how it is every time I go out on the road. They put everybody and their mother out there, and everybody try to outdo us and outplay us and outdance us, and you know, it's crazy. But on that note, let me go to the next thing. What irritates the hell out of you?
At this stage, in 2,000 years, man, in the 2000 millennium, what irritates me is people not having their stuff together, bad business, and absolutely still stealing jokes. To me, it's the type of thing that that's the you know how you got crime in the real world, like stealing a joke is murder. It's
I can
murder.
imagine.
It's not stealing.
I can imagine.
Stealing a joke is murder, or the conspiracy thereof, because you have a comic, an artist that worked very hard to create this bit or joke or skit, whatever you want to call it. Then you have a guy that'll sit there and watch it, and we'll just take it like he came up with it and he didn't, right? But because this guy is not big enough or it's not televised, he figured he could just take it and travel with it like it's his. In comedy, that's the equivalent to the most heinous crime in real life, which is murder. And you're either conspiring to commit it or you're committing it, because in essence, you're killing that guy who created it before he gets to live his life.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
That's true.
And another thing is, like, on the business side of it or the technical side of it, at this stage of the game, there's no excuse for certain things not to be in order. I mean, comedy is one of those entertainment things where you don't need the world. Like, you don't need a ton of stuff. Like nobody's gonna, unless you're dealing with a super diva, and they do exist. But the average comic, you know, the things that he may require to come and play your venue, it's not going to be a deal breaker. Like, I got a rider like every other artist, right? People go down my rider, and some places for said reasons will have to take things off of that rider. I'm not canceling the gig on you. I understand. You know, I'm going to play a clean church event. I'm going to play a college, what we call a dry venue where you can have your liquor. So if liquor's in my rider, a drink, a Heineken, a hold, whatever, if those things in there and I can't have them, the people just make a call, but hey, this is a such house, or this is gospel, we can't give you that. No problem. See you at 8 o'clock. Yeah. You know what I mean? But to go into a situation and just not have it, you know, dot your I's and cross your T's, that is frustrating. I don't want to, you don't know where I'm coming from. When I get off that plane in your city, you don't know if I didn't sleep last night because I had a late 6 shows in Chicago or whatever, to get off the plane and I'm calling 10 times, where's the pickup? Oh, you landed? Oh, hold up. Or they there and you sitting in the car 2 hours and my man trying to find you a hotel. Why are you trying to find me a hotel right now?
Oh man, you just described my whole world.
Yo, we've been promoting this thing 2 months and I'm in a limo or SUV, yeah, wait a minute, we're trying to see if we could, because they booked a lot of room, but you knew you had this coming. And the funny thing about a hotel, like I know as an artist, it costs you nothing to reserve a room.
That's right. Exactly.
Little stuff,
exactly.
man.
Well, okay. On the flip side of that, one more question before we go to break. What warms your heart? What makes you feel good?
What warms my heart, makes me feel good in this business is when it does all come together. When I do see a comic that I know who probably wasn't that good or didn't have it all the way together, fast forward 5 years, I see them and they got it all together. I love it. Remember that expression? I love it when a plan comes together. Like, I love it when everything does go good, because that means that venue, whether 500 or 5,000, you made a difference. You was therapeutic to a bunch of people, and you made them laugh. You gave them what they paid for, and more importantly, beyond, because they paid for a show. You gave them a show, but what deeply happens in that show, the healing process of laughter being therapeutic, that's into play at 100%, and that makes me good. I love to get back on that next plane as I'm ready to take a nap for the next 2, 3, 4 hours, or however long that plane ride is. And I'm closing my eyes with a smile on my face, like, we did that. Those people individually, I don't even have to be there. I know that they went on feeling good about themselves, feeling great.
Well, listen, we're gonna go to break. We'll be right back with Soul One After Dark with my man Talent.
Now, is it me or is anybody that's been fired? No. Oh, you ain't gonna believe it. You know they laid me off. What? She kicked right in. It sound like the white woman. What? Are you going to forget them? You know you helped build that company. You're like, yeah, I know. Come on home. Forget them. You'll find something. Take your time. You'll find something. Now, see, when a white woman says, it sound like a white woman, but it's different. Well, sisters, you got to read between the lines. When a white woman tell you, take your time, you'll find something, you get a 3-month cushion. Yeah, 2-3 month cushion. Get your mind right for your next career move. When the sister tell you, take your time, you'll find something, this bitch means that week. You just told her Monday. She in the living room Wednesday. You ain't find nothing. Nothing. And all the sisters laugh because you know it's true. They don't play fair. They send the kids in there, Daddy, hey Daddy, you ain't find nothing. I'm like, get your little ass out of here. Your mother sent you. Get out.
Buy you a drink?
No thanks, I'm with someone. What are you doing?
Oh, crap.
I thought we quit.
Well, this handsome man here offered me a cigarette.
Who is she? Your mother?
Call 1-800-QUIT now.
What's happening? It's your boy Marcus Miller. You are watching Soul One TV.
Todd, okay, let me ask you something. If you could change one thing that you did last week, what would it be?
If I could change one thing that I did last week,
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't have went to Houston, Texas.
Isn't that where your wife is?
Yeah. But I probably but the reason not for her. But, I mean,
I was getting ready to say you better clean that up, brother. Clean it up.
Not my daughter's mom. My daughter's mom is a nurse, and we were talking over there. She's down in Texas doing her special work as a nurse. She's been doing these contracts to save these people during COVID season, and she's on her 3rd or 4th contract. So had a chance to see her. She's been away, but no, not her. But I was there to work. I was there to do a show.
Oh, okay.
And it's one of those states that's unfortunately a majority of people there still don't believe it's real. I see why their numbers are what they are and why she has to be there in those hospitals battling this COVID, because it was a shock to see, because I've been moving around a little bit since, let's say, the fall started, right? A little bit here and there. And I came here where I'm at before because my brother and sister live out here. We have a venue in Florida, in Tampa, Clearwater. So when I come here, it was kind of a little 50-50. So I was talking smack about how they are down here. So I take everything back now because after seeing Texas, like they took it to another level. Like it was 50-50 in Florida. Like you may see a person here or there without the mask and don't believe it. But when I tell you in droves in a large amount, Texas, it was like, what? Somebody yelled out in the audience one time, it's fake. Virus ain't real. I was like, and I'm one of those people who lost a lot of people to COVID. So I think it hits us so personal and so close to home. And the people who it didn't hit or haven't lost anybody, they look at it like it can't be real. If I could take that back, I would have not went and held that off a little longer and went to Texas maybe 5-6 months from now when things were a little better.
Wow. Yeah, it's definitely really, really crazy, man. It's a crazy situation. What comedian would you, I know you don't have to really pay to go in no place, but what comedian would you pay to see?
You know what's crazy? I would almost everybody. I love comedy.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of this business I'm in. And if I used to, I mean, in New York, I don't have to, like, if you're somewhere and people don't know who you are, I would not even try to explain who I am and use my weight to get in. I would pay to cover and go in and sit down and have a brew and a drink and some finger food and, pay the whole experience and watch a show because I'm a super fan of comedy. Matter of fact, in New York, when we used to do shows and get off of work and there were other shows going on, we would go to other shows and sit and get a seat in the back and get a drink and something to eat and enjoy other people's humor because after all, that's why we got into it, most of us.
Yeah, definitely.
I love it. I love comedy. So, but if we're talking about a name, I would pay people who could get my money any day. Bill Burr, J.B. Smoove, Tony Woods, Kyle Grooms. On the female end, Melanie Camacho, some more. Tiffany Haddish can't get my money. Kevin Hart can't get my money. Kevin Hart can't get my money. Dave Attell. Dave Attell could get my money. The Wayans brothers, they can't get money. Let me see. Well, no, let me take that back. Damon Wayans can get my money. Let me fix that.
I don't want to start.
You gotta separate Damon from the other brothers.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, listen. Okay, I'm gonna leave that one alone. As a certified comedian, what advice would you give, young up and coming comedians? A few of the do's, a few of the don'ts.
Well, the main thing you want to do is the do's. Stay on stage. Seek stages out as much as you can. The more stages you can be on in the week is what's going to hone your skill. It's definitely like being on rollerblades or roller skates, and learning to ride a bike. But once you get on there, the more you do it, the more you begin to master it and it becomes second nature. You want to do that. Find somebody with way more experience than you and pick the hell out of their brain. And not just pick the brain to be picking it. Listen to what applies to your situation and apply it every chance you get. Everyone's done it. That's the way it's done. That's the way the baton has been passed since the beginning of stand-up. It's the way it's going to be passed to the end of stand-up. Or you're just going to be one of those people doing it wrong. The don'ts of comedy. You want to be a comedian, first and foremost, you heard me, don't commit murder. Don't steal jokes. You know what I mean? Don't get discouraged if you find it hard to write jokes because all of us are not writers. Some of us are blessed with natural ability. So if you're a natural, it's all up here. It's sort of like Jay-Z and them said, they don't write the rhymes down, they just go in the studio. It's an analogy and equivalent to that. Some of us, we have different ways of doing it. Don't think there's one humor door. There's a lot of doors of humor. One thing may not be your niche, the next thing may be your niche. Do not get discouraged. If there's something you really feel in your heart of hearts that you think you can do or want to do, do not get discouraged. It's a hard thing to get into. It ain't you. A lot of people think it's them. Like, oh, I just can't get it. No, it ain't that. It's super difficult. Let me put it in perspective for comics coming up. You have to stand in a room of 100 people who have 100 problems apiece, and you still have to make them forget those problems and come together on one simultaneous moment with a big laugh. It's very hard.
Are you managing any comedians or any artists?
Well, yeah, kind of, sort of. I got what I call a camp or clique. What I did early on in the business, because I'm come from high school, Mount Vernon High School, majoring in business, right? So business was always my thing. I actually, coming out of high school, I had a very keen eye on being a CPA, certified public accountant, because of numbers. I love numbers. I'm into the business side of things. So year number 1 into comedy, I peeped something that got me all the way in, right, on the business side. I showed up for a gig. I was making $75 or $100 that night. Somebody rented out the Radisson right there in Northshire by New Rock City.
Yeah.
And they rented out the ballroom. It held 350 people. And it was 4 of us on the show. Some guy, I forget who was hosting, but it was me and 2 more comics. Now, because this is in my backyard in Norfolk, so when I come downstairs, I'm only a year in comedy, but when I come downstairs and they got the table set up where they're collecting the money, I know these girls that's running the table. We went to school together, so we're laughing and joking. I haven't been inside the ballroom yet. I'm just in the foyer. So we're talking, and as I'm talking, a group of 5 or 6 people come down, and he was like, "Oh, you guys got tickets left at the door. We want to buy, we didn't get advance tickets." And it was like, "Yeah, these are the last 5 or 6. They gave them the last tickets. The girl's like, "Oh, it's sold out now." And I'm like, "Sold out?" I'm like, and they paid, I watched these people pay like $35 a ticket, right? Now this is 91, right? 91. So I watched them pay $35 at the door, which was like a lot of money to me at the time. I'm like, damn, they paid $35 at the door. And the girl, when she said, now we're sold out. I'm like, well, how many at home? She said 350. My high school math brain said, like, if it was 35 at the door, I said, let's say it's 25 in advance. I said, damn, 25 times 350 people. I'm doing the math. And I'm like, hold up. I'm like, these dudes caking out. And I'm doing the math. And then I subtract myself. I'm like, if everybody's making $100 like me, DJ 200, the rental, I said, these dudes are what they're making, what the promoter's making, compared to what I'm making is astronomically different. So right then and there, I said, I need to be on this side of the game as well. So I immediately, that was the first annex business I started promoting. Then I started the marketing. Then I started the managing. You know what I mean? So fast forward to answer your question, along the ways, you know how I gave the advice to the young comics to pick the brains and all that? Along the way, I meet comics that are younger and fresher in the game that not only are picking my brain, but I'm watching them apply it. And they have that thing in them. And if I see that thing, I'm like, you need to be part of the camp. So I got about 8 people in clique that we manage, market, and are part of the camp.
Wow. Okay.
When you get on the business side, you got to do everything. Like right now, COVID pushed up and intensified my marketing part of my merchandise of the game. Everything from lighters and flasks to coffee mugs and drink cups and glassware to hoodies. You see my hat. My hat.
Oh, yeah.
It's just comedy, Run DMC style. And I got winter hats, these hats, bags, souvenirs of all types, from something simple like an ink pen and chapstick and hand sanitizer to hoodies and t-shirts. Like, you know what I mean? This is one shirt. This is my Heineken buy. Everybody know me for, wearing a Heineken. So it says talent in the middle of the logo. And then I got It's Just Comedy t-shirts and hoodies and all that stuff. So my merch game been crazy.
That's cool. That's cool, man. Put money aside, are you more comfortable at a small venue where you the people write up on you, or are you comfortable with large venues, or it don't matter?
Well, to me, it don't matter. I'm not uncomfortable in a bigger, small, that don't matter to me, because at this point, you kind of mastered the stage and the mic, right? And the crowd. So those 3 components, which makes up a show, you get to a point where you kind of elevate to master that. But the perfect situation in comedy is the smaller, the more intimate. It's like, musicians know this as well. When they're in an intimate setting and they're doing a live thing with a crowd and it's intimate with 150, 200 people, they're going to feel so much more empowered than if it's going out there. If it's going out there, there's a whole 2/3 of that building venue. You just, but you just don't know. But up here, when I can see your face and I can see how hard you're laughing and how I'm affecting you, then it changes me and affects me.
Yeah.
In real time.
All right, Talent. Get over here, man. No, get a little tight ass. Stupid mother. Your mom's so stupid, she thought Meow Mix was a rap record for cats.
All right. Be right back. Soul One After Dark with Talent.
Hey, buddy. Can you put on your mask?
Why? I feel fine.
It's called asymptomatic. Look it up. It's not about you. It's about your neighbor.
The essential workers.
My grandma.
All right, I've got it covered.
It's up to us in New York, New York.
I love New York.
This is David Pitt Conley from the group Surface.
Hey, man, John Fever. What we doing?
We're grooving with Greg Hill.
Okay, we're back with Talent with all the gear on now.
Look at that.
Oh
Look
yeah,
at that, man. Look at that. Look how that look. It's just Comedy Jam. Look, like Def Comedy Jam. So, my It's Just Comedy phrase is a classic phrase. So what I did was, I do these hybrid logos. So my logos, It's Just Comedy is classic by itself. And then I'll take the brand, like you see the other hat I had on, that's like a Run DMC logo, but made to fit It's Just Comedy. This is like a Def Comedy Jam circle logo that's made to fit It's Just Comedy that I use on everything. Like you got mugs, you got bags, you got all types of stuff that, we don't play around. So you had to take the merch to another level.
So how can they get some of that merchandise?
Oh yeah, well, the website will be up in about 2 weeks, but people can email me, talent@itsjustcomedy.com. I also sell it straight off of my social media. So all my Facebook pages, King Talent Harris, or you can go to, if you're on Instagram, people can go to Talent the Comedian. If they're on Twitter, they can go to @itsjustcomedy. So anything that I'm on, social media, we sell them take orders through the inbox there, but mainly email me, talent@itsjustcomedy.com.
Okay. Y'all got that out there. Now, do you have any events coming up? Any virtual events or anything?
Oh, absolutely, man. I actually just started. I just booked the thing where I'm going to do a virtual comedy show every couple of weeks on a Sunday night, right? So the first one will be the 21st of this month. Again, you can go to that same email, talent@itsjustcomedy.com, and get the information and get the tickets and stuff like that. So we're going to be doing those, hosting those on Zoom every other Sunday, starting the 21st of this month. Live shows, we're sneaking and peeking out there to some certain venues that can keep us safe and keep us socially distanced and wear the mask and all that protocol. So we're back at the Stress Factory, people. We've been off completely a full year since COVID in New Brunswick, New Jersey. So every last Sunday of the month, we're there live. They built an outside annex of a club, holds about 100 people or so in there, socially distanced. So we're back with that every last Sunday of the month. Like I said, this is Super Bowl weekend. I'm down here now doing a major events for the NFL Player Association. And right after this, I got to shoot to film a pilot in Brooklyn for a new TV show. It's like a American Idol for comedy type of show that I'm one of the judges on that show. So I'm going to shoot that. And then just bouncing around, man, with these big shows, making it happen slowly but surely. We got a couple of months. The weather's going to break. Everybody know that one one of my partners out in Brooklyn, Mr. Ray DeJean from Laughaholics.
Yeah, Ray.
We got that drive-in. That drive-in comedy has been superb with the COVID season. Yeah, people seen that last summer, and it's everywhere in the country now.
Yeah, the drive-in thing is really big now.
Stop smoking. Too many women smoking. Go outside. Right? They're puffing. It's cute now. It ain't gonna be cute 10 years from now. Find your ass on CNN talking through that throat shit. You see the commercials, they everywhere. I didn't always sound like this. No, I had a nice voice. Michelle, tell him I sounded nice. Some people say, oh, no, don't say, oh, forget it. You crazy? Oh, you don't feel sorry for every commercial. Not the lady that kept smoking. They trying to help her. You see the one? They cutting fingers off her. You see that commercial? She like, so then they cut these 2 fingers off. I said, oh shit, I need a cigarette.
All right, don't take it personal. It's just comedy.
98 Kiss turned into the sports thing. But what station are you on now?
Now I'm in Rochester, WDKX.com, the black-owned, one of the final frontiers, black-owned radio up in Rochester, New York. Shout out to Andre up there, my peoples. WDKX, man, and the call letters say it all, Frederick Douglass, King, Malcolm X, WDKX. So black-owned radio, shout out to, again, my man Andre up there holds it down. He took it over after Pops. His father had it. And we do a lot in the community every day in, day out. We stay up abreast on it. We got a black mayor up there. Shout out to lovely Warren, city of Rochester. And a lot going on up there, man. We've been doing a comedy takeover in Rochester for 20 plus years.
And with the radio show, what's your time slot?
We're in a Wake Up Club morning show like we used to do at 98.7 Wake Up Club. Okay. Same thing. We call the Wake Up Club up there, 6 to 10 a.m. Monday through Friday goes down. My people up there holding it down, DJ Rain, DJ Sight, and Tariq, who's originally out of the Boogie Down Bronx as well. It's the Wake Up Club. You know what I mean? And you can go on the website, WDKX.com, and stream it, stream the whole station all day, every day.
Okay, all right.
So it goes down, man. We ain't playing around.
I see you ain't playing around. And as a side note, I want to give a shout out to my partner, Carol Hamilton, for booking you on the show today.
Absolutely.
Carol, I appreciate it.
Carol!
And like I said, when she told me, she went down the list. Well, I got this one, and I got talent. I said, talent, the comedian. I said, all right, well, let me see who this is. I tell you, man, it's been a pleasure having you on here, man. I really, really, really appreciate it. In fact, this is my first show in the new series of shows that I'm doing. And it was a pleasure having you on here, man. And I hope that you come back sometime and let us know what you're doing.
I can't wait to come back, man. This is, the better appearances and interviews on shows, they always go like this. They always don't feel like how long you've been on it. So, I'm always happy to come back to the proper things,
That's what we try to do, man. And one more question. Did you take your shot yet? And are you going to take the shot?
I don't think so. No, I don't think so. I actually, I kind of feel bad for the generation behind us who are still in school, because they're gonna be kind of mandated to, and even if they don't want to, I think that things like that, we all need to have a choice in. And I think that the older guys like ourselves, who are grown, so to speak, it's hard to mandate us because you don't have a hold on us, but they do have a hold on education in this country. And if you have kids that are going through school, I think that they're gonna force that. There's no way around that for the kids. So I don't think so. I'm not gonna say never or whatever, but right now as it stands, I'm one of those old school black dudes that's still saying Tuskegee Airmen, dude. 2 words, Tuskegee Airmen.
No, I hear you, man. Listen, that's an honest answer. You gave an honest answer, and I definitely respect that, man.
They're gonna have to trick me. They're gonna have to put it in Fruity Pebbles or something like that.
You know, this is crazy. This is crazy. You know. But anyway, man, it's been a pleasure. Enjoy the Super Bowl, man. You know,
Yes, sir.
you know, tell all them guys with them AARP cards. You know, I love them, man. We love them. God bless. God bless, man. And listen, the best to you, your wife, your family, and everybody. And thank you for coming to Soul One After Dark.
Hey, man, can't wait to see you again. Hey, G, hold it down, brother. Shout
You
out
know
to
it.
Carol
You
again.
know it.
I'll see you again, all right?
Yo, I'm getting ready to go to Target now. All right, man. Take it easy. Thank you.
Listen to Soul One After Dark. We're putting it down. You know my man, Greg Hill. Hey, hold it down, baby. Don't take it personal. It's just comedy. Soul One After Dark.
Okay. Yo, every time you do that, I'm Yo, but wait, I'm telling you this.